Welcome to In the Pilot Seat. This is MJ.
This is AJ.
And we're here to talk about TV pilots. We kind of came up with this idea based on just kind of
our love for shows.
Yeah. We watch way too many shows, and each show...
And our not love for commitment.
Yeah. Each show starts with one, so why not talk about some of the upcoming TV pilots? And some old. We might revisit some good ones.
We might.
Do you have any favorite pilots?
Well, let's see. The stuff that I can think of while I was watching The Good Girls would be Breaking Bad. It's pretty obvious. It's a great show. Weeds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good one.
Showtime.
Yep.
I believe. That's about it. That reminds me of this show. How about you, MJ?
Easily Mad Men.
Okay.
No, we do have a guest.
Hello, I'm J-Boogie. But yes, Mad Men, so good.
Yeah, that Mad Men pilot. We'll have you back on when we revisit, the Mad Men pilot. And we're eventually going to do it. Mad Men, Lost.
Oh, Lost.
Easily. Breaking Bad, for sure. I can't think of it.
I finished Lost in like 2 weeks.
Did you binge it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like all seasons, however many seasons it is. I think it was like 4 in like 2 weeks.
I revisit Lost every how many years? All right, we're rambling.
All right.
I have one.
What are yours?
Empire.
Wow.
Sucked in. It's one of those shows you're like, I don't know. And then you watch and you're like, okay, I can't stop.
You're into it.
So
do you still
good.
watch Empire, though?
No, after the first season I was done. But the first season was so good. Season 2, though,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I stopped watching.
I got lost.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't even say this. Game of Thrones.
I mean, that's
a given, though.
It's like...
I guess so.
I mean, it's like...
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially with the way that pilot ends.
Yes.
See, that's what makes a good pilot. It's like a basis of what is bound to happen, but either it's, I caught you and you're coming back for more, or maybe I'll come back, right?
Right.
Yeah.
See what happens.
If you guys get a chance, I would watch Sneaky Pete on Amazon
I gotta
Prime.
watch Sneaky
Oh
Pete.
my God! Speaking of a good pilot, it's pretty damn good.
I can't wait for Amazon new pilot season.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're for sure going to be doing that. Yeah, Amazon's had some good ones. This is exactly why I wanted to do this show. What was that show that we watched that didn't get picked up? It was an Amazon pilot, but that dumb Matt Bomer show got picked up. That was supposed to be like Mad Men. You know what I'm talking about. Last Tycoon.
I watched that whole season, though. I know. It was just a late night thing.
A bunch of friends.
It was a bunch of friends.
And they grew up. And
there was something that ended up happening. And I was like, I want more.
We'll never know.
And we'll never know.
Maybe we should write Amazon.
Speaking of which, while we're on the topic of pilots, which is the whole idea about the show, did you know that the pilot for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend was originally supposed to be on Showtime?
Oh, yeah.
And she was supposed to give Greg a handy.
Yeah, but they had to...
They had to cut that out for CW, you know? All right. Let's reel it back in. This is the premiere episode of In the Pilot Seat, or a pilot episode, if you will. So for the first episode of this podcast, we're going to be covering Good Girls, which is on NBC. It stars Mae Whitman from Parenthood, Retta from Parks and Rec, and the lovely and beautiful Christina Hendricks from Mad Men.
Yes.
So what are your overall thoughts, guys?
Let's give our guest a go.
Yeah, let's give our guest
J-Boogie over here.
J-Boogie first. Let's open it up with your ideas, your opinions.
So, I was a Mad Men fan. Thank you, MJ, for getting me sucked into that world.
So good.
But God, so good to see Christina Hendricks back on a show where it just keeps her... It feels just like a continuation of Mad Men into the present. Like she's so poised and shiny and amazing, and I mean, there's nothing I can say bad about her being on the show.
She's
overall,
the lead.
I really enjoyed the show. I think a lot of it's because of her. So my views might be a little skewed, but you know, they're true. Shout out to Christina Hendricks if you're listening, which you're not.
They definitely cast it really well.
They did. I think that's what got my attention about this show was who the three good girls are.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Speaking of casting, what do you think about Shaggy on the show, aka the husband, Scooby-Doo's partner, Shaggy?
Matthew Lillard.
Is that his name? Because all I see is Shaggy when I see
Shaggy.
it.
Oh. Or She's All That. Wasn't he in She's All That? Or am I making that up?
I don't know. Shaggy.
Scream.
Yes, Scream.
I remember.
Oh my God, already off the jump. Really? That's her husband? I guess I get it.
Some trivia. Christina Hendricks wasn't even the lead in the original pilot.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It was some actress named Kathleen Rose Perkins, and Christina took over, and now she's the lead.
Huh.
AJ,
do you guys feel like this should not be on NBC? Like it should be a cable, Showtime, HBO kind of thing?
So, my original thought, honestly, when I watched it, I felt like there was something
missing,
a little lacking.
That's what I feel too.
Like I felt, like there was something that could have like brought it over. I don't know if I had too much expectations for it, but I mean, obviously, still enjoyed it, but there was something. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's on NBC. I can't figure it out. If there's, because they can't do a certain amount of things on it, and maybe we're just too used to watching Netflix or HBO or, something premium.
I have to keep reminding myself it's on NBC. Right. They can only do so much, But
I mean, we'll get into the stuff later where I kind of got a little like, whoa, this is NBC. What's going on here?
So, with that, I mean, I do like the fact that within the first 2 minutes, they covered a lot of ground. Like, they got into the robbery, they got into why they were doing it in individual life stories. So, that was pretty good, because I hate when I see a show and then they kind of like wait till like the last 5 minutes and tell us everything that's going on. So they kind of, get that out of the way in the first 2 minutes. So that's amazing.
Literally before the title card, you get to learn who the three women are. You don't know who they are exactly, but you just get a sense of what they're dealing with in their daily lives.
Right.
Christina Hendricks' character is married, has 4 kids, mom, Mae Whitman, kind of single mom. She has a daughter, kind of ambiguous to dealing with some kind of
gender identity.
And we learn that, her ex has already a girlfriend who drives a Porsche. And then Retta, married, she has a strong daughter and with an obvious illness, but you see her husband and they're opposite of kind of the vibe you get from Christina Hendricks' character and her husband.
Right.
They're more like a team.
First 2 minutes.
Literally right before the title card.
This opening was literally amazing. I mean, to go into details, like when Sarah, the little girl with the disease, she was doing her school presentation and she wanted to burn down what she said was, we're going to burn this patriarchy down, busts out a lighter with a book in her other hand while she's hooked up to an oxygen tank. Like,
so good.
Oh my God, I could not stop cracking up. Like, someone had to go and take the oxygen tank away from her because
you see her parents cheering her on.
Right, and it was her mom, and then her dad goes, is someone gonna stop that? Oh my God, so good. Okay.
Question: how long did it take for you to realize what their names were?
A long time. To be honest, I had to IMDb it, especially the gangster guy, the main the leader of the group.
Oh, he has a name?
He has a name? I still don't know his name. He has a name? I literally...
Yeah, it's Rio.
Oh.
Rio?
Yeah, Rio.
Like De Janeiro?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put that on the list.
Like, I couldn't... I
guess no one referred to him as that.
Well,
No, he's just...
I guess
I literally have in my notes, gang dude.
I think what happens is when you have such a detail-filled opening, it's so much to digest, and then if they're not reinforcing it with the name again and again, it just, you know who the characters are, but the name kind of just becomes one of those things like you'll pick it up later.
Yeah, I literally only know Boland.
Boland Motors.
Boland Motors.
Because it was written on the screen. Did you have your closed captioning on?
I did. And I still didn't know who Beth, Annie, and Ruby were until like 30 minutes in.
What about Boomer?
Boomer.
Boomer.
Oh, Boomer.
Born again Boomer.
Oh my god.
Born again Boomer.
But he ends up calling her a stuck-up bitch. All right, let's get into...
Okay.
Oh, we didn't get started.
Our podcast lasts
Let's-
3 hours.
It'll be 30 minutes of giggling.
It's true.
It is true.
I also love that they do the 3 weeks before scenes.
Yes.
Like, just give me what's going on and give me how they got there.
Yeah.
So I love that they did that.
Yeah.
So I love how it's set up.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here are these 3 moms who are getting ready to take their kids to school or are at school already, and then they're gonna go meet up and rob this grocery store, and you're like, what? And then 3 weeks earlier happens.
Yeah. And there's not a show like this around. Like, 3 powerful women.
Yeah, strong female leads.
It literally is the time.
So funny.
Yeah.
And they used to say female comedians just aren't great, and I don't understand that. Like, it's just, it's amazing. So, can we, as they say, dive right in?
Dive right in, girl.
Yeah, let's dive right in.
Got a perfect opener for us. Can we talk about bush control? When she was at the spa.
Yes!
They were literally, like I said, brush control, I think is what they called it.
It's brush control.
Is it brush control?
Yeah.
What? So they tell her as she's crouched in a position to have, some areas cleaned up, and they come in and tell her that her credit card was declined.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, we find out that they stopped halfway with her brush control. Like, how amazing. Why is this a NBC, appropriate shot? Like, I love it.
I just thought it was funny that she was like...
I feel uneven.
that, or she's like, oh, we don't really have time for sex. There's a lot of stuff to catch up on the DVR.
She's like, the lady's like, maybe he couldn't find it. I was like, in real life, no one would talk back to you like that as a customer.
No, until after the credit card gets declined.
Right,
yeah.
Right. But that was, kind of the inclination that they're having money issues. When we met Ruby earlier at the school during her daughter's little performance, they're talking about money issues too. So, and you can already tell Annie's got money issues.
We just don't know how bad.
It kind of leads into why these women are going to go rob a grocery store.
And I feel like... And when I was watching this, I was like, how can you not know that your husband's, cheating, right? And looking back, I was like, you're so busy taking care of the kids, taking care of the house, being a homemaker, that I guess that's the last thing that you'll think of, Like, it didn't click until, her credit card declined. And...
Right. Yeah.
Wait, I want to understand how she found out that her credit card was declined from the lingerie store. Like, how much did these panties cost from the lingerie store that it would have maxed out the credit card? Like, that was the purchase that maxed it out.
Yeah. All the flow, some of the flows of the show, it doesn't really kind of...
Yeah,
it was a little off. But usually, first episode, it's kind of hard for first episodes to kind of put everything in there and set everything up. But yeah, I agree. There was, like I said,
that was the purchase. Like,
that was
I
the
bought
purchase.
a pair of
Maybe it was
panties
the
and my
last
credit card
purchase.
was maxed out.
Was it? Is
Yeah.
that what it was?
The what?
Yeah, that's the one that tipped it over. Maybe it was the last purchase.
It was the
in
last
statement.
purchase, and then she checked it.
Okay.
Logistics.
It is a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
And then them getting the exact item from the credit card receipt, like...
Well, they went to the store and the lady wouldn't give it to them.
Well, but
And
how
then-
can you find out? Like, you don't have a receipt. You just have your credit card statement.
Right. I mean, but they could, in
Maybe we're
this day and
thinking
age,
too much about
search by a customer's name and date of purchase and look it up if they have an account.
this. Okay.
Oh.
It's still a little...
Yes, still
Right.
a little.
Yeah.
It's not it's smooth.
little
It's
far-fetched.
it's for TV.
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
But the story that went with why she needed to know what the purchase was amazing. About her like friend that was in an accident and needed this purchase again.
Yeah.
So to make her feel better, and she like whips out the panties.
Right.
And she's like, "Are these it?" That was so amazing.
It's like, that's definitely not for you.
No, definitely.
But let's go back a little bit to where we go and visit them in the grocery store where they're holding up the place, and Christina Hendricks, you know, just kind of goes buck wild because nobody's listening to Annie or Ruby.
They were all surprised. They were like,
she
wow,
went
how
from-
long was she holding that in?
Let's
She went from housewife to like, you know, Bonnie and Clyde.
yeah, yes. All right, let's watch this clip.
I'm gonna need you to all get on the ground, get your cell phones out of your pockets, and keep your hands where I can see them. All right, good. Now, I need you to get your manager up here. I said you need to get a manager up here right now. Hey, where's y'all's boss at?
That would be me in the
Better
group.
get a manager up here right now, or I will start capping people, and I'm not even joking, mother. You the manager? Over there. Hey,
You wearing
hey, you,
Right.
you, Wormy. Hey. Are you in charge here?
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay, then you listen to me. You're gonna put on your big boy panties, and you're gonna tell your customers to stay calm, and this will be over real soon. Get out of there.
Everybody stay calm, okay?
Now you're gonna take my friend here to the cash vault. Move it before I shoot your face off! Let's go! Now!
I'm so proud. The best line.
Hey, Deadpool, you wanna?
Deadpool.
Yeah. Deadpool.
So relevant.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good.
Is that what it's like to be a mom, where you have to act like this perfect homemaker during the day, and then the second you get that chance to release, you just go buck wild?
Apparently.
That's what happens when you have kids,
I guess
right?
neither of us would.
Wait, I can't relate.
You can't relate, no.
That was great though.
So we do eventually learn that Beth and Annie are sisters.
Yeah, I didn't get that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like halfway through the show. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
okay.
you guys are sisters. I think and it's kind of told early on.
Was it?
So she's like, I remember when Mom and Dad used to do whatever. And then I think it was before the lingerie scene.
And then they still haven't explained how they're
They're
connected
friends.
with their friends. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, I
a
guess so.
mystery to
Yeah.
learn as
Oh,
the story
that's what-
unfolds.
That's what keeps us watching, right?
How do you feel about the sisterly interaction with these two, with Anna and Beth?
Something I long for.
Something you long for? Well, I mean, the fact that, you know, there's one that's perfect, miss everything, family, kids, house. Another one who, quote unquote, is the screw up with the grocery store job, the tattoo, as we have that nice shot of her butt
Well,
in front
everyone,
of us.
a lot of
AJ.
people has an "all you need is love" tattoo.
Of course, that's what she said. That's what she told Boomer. Boomer.
I mean, I don't
It's a
know.
little
I mean,
cliche.
I don't
Or
know. They
you
might
feel
be
like-
listening in, so.
I thought it was fine. I mean, it's better than fighting siblings.
True.
But I did like their little talk. I think it was after we meet Greg, who is Annie's ex, and tells her, you know, that I'm gonna sue you for custody, and now it's like another problem in Annie's ball court. So she's having the talk with Beth, and they both kind of realize they both got issues. Her husband's probably cheating on her, she realizes. And then Annie's got this, she's about to lose her daughter. So it's, I mean, at least they can be there for each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah, like as different as they are, they still are sisters and have things in common that they're dealing with at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a really good. I like that.
Yeah.
That connection. My initial impression of Anna. So I noticed some people call her Anna, some people call her Annie. I guess it just depends.
Someone called her Anna?
I've
I
never
want-
heard
really?
anyone call her Anna.
I don't know why I have it in my notes as Anna.
Anna Banana? What did he call her?
It is.
Annie Banani? What did he call
I think
her?
it's Annie's
Is it
name.
Boomer that called her
Boomer
that?
called her that.
Yeah.
So, my impression of her when I first saw her is just like, God, you can tell she's made some choices in her life, let's just say.
You
Like,
tell.
of the two sisters, you know, they were presented with different choices, and Annie here, she's made some choices. And Sadie, which is Annie's daughter, she is, wow, she's such an adult, just the coolest kid.
She's so cute.
She's so cute.
And yeah, and with just the confidence that she has to carry her gender identity. And when they introduced the husband or ex-husband, Greg, I was like, really? These two were together in high school?
You know who that is, though, right?
What?
Yeah, he's from the show I used to watch about
He's-
this guy that this kid that got kidnapped. Oh my god.
What?
Yes, let me find
I'm
it
talking
right
about
now.
Friday Night Lights.
Oh, were they together on that?
Oh, was that him?
That's Saracen.
Oh my god. I'm thinking about a different show.
I
See,
was like-
I've seen so many pilots.
Pilots. Tell it all goes
Another
downhill.
of my favorite pilots.
Yes.
Friday Night Lights.
Lights. It's so warm. It's like a hug, that show.
She, and I think she does make, she was in Parenthood, which was made by the same people as Friday Night Lights. But I think she wasn't in Friday Night Lights. That's something. But it's weird. They all kind of keep it in the family.
Yeah, so I mean, just not knowing that, I've never seen Friday Night Lights. I was
You're
like,
missing
why?
out, girl.
Why are these two like they seem like in high school they would be in two different worlds? Like how? How?
People
I
change.
mean, maybe
you
he
know?
was a dumb idiot back then, and
Maybe it was an
then now
accident.
he grew up. It probably was an
Let
accident.
me do that again.
Oh. Tell me how you really feel.
I mean, but you know what? He's a decent enough guy that he tells her, hey, you know, I'm going to be trying to get custody. I want to give you a heads up, give you a chance to, you know.
It feels like he's not cool with Sadie's sexuality.
He's not.
Oh,
he's
he's
saying
so not
that I
into the
don't
game.
So-
like. He's like, she needs therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like all about her figuring out who she is.
Yeah.
So they can dive in with that later.
Yeah, there's
on,
going to be some
hopefully.
stuff they can dive in with that.
Yeah. He's a little behind on the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's born again too.
It's probably because his new wife has a Porsche.
He
Is it a
sits
Porsche?
next to Boomer at church.
Oh, Boomer. Speaking of Boomer, are we ready to talk about him?
Yeah, we can talk about him. I
All
guess
right.
we're doing this per person.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
We think we're kind of watching.
You know
character.
what? This is the first
I like the
episode.
per
We're kind of
character.
feeling how it goes. Why not? Yeah, let's talk about Boomer.
First of all, okay, what kind of, I mean, no offense to all the boomers out there in the world, okay, but what kind of douchebag name?
You know,
It's
that was my
Boomer.
first dog's name.
Oh, but that's a dog.
Mm.
Wolf, wolf, that's a cute dog name.
Yeah,
It's like calling your son
back
Fido.
in the 80s called Boomer.
Would you call your child Fido?
No.
Lassie? I keep going.
Michael Phelps named his first son Boomer.
Oh.
From Baltimore.
He's
Awkward.
from Baltimore.
Well, there we go.
Well, there we
No,
go.
also, no offense to people from Baltimore, city or county. You know who you are.
Anyway, what was your point again?
So we're introduced to Boomer, and the first thing he says to Annie, one of the first things, he just calls her a stuck-up bitch.
Yeah, because she was like, I got plans. I ain't going to no
Anything
church
with you.
church night with you.
Like, wow. I mean,
Yeah.
for him to invite her to church and then call her a stuck-up bitch.
Because she rejected him. This is the problem.
But
He really cast well for Boomer, though.
I mean,
It
yeah,
was-
he's
you
very
guys
perfect creepy
spot
look.
on.
Did you guys watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I saw a few episodes of
Aw.
it. Didn't really.
Shout out to
Was he on
Rickety
that?
Cricket. He played
was-
Rickety Cricket.
Oh, nice.
I was like, who is this
Super.
guy? He looks so familiar. Rickety Cricket.
Oh, man.
But yeah, and how about even more disgusting was him just totally checking out her lower back tattoo, which they, had to focus on.
But
course.
didn't you feel that was like foreshadowing into something?
Yeah.
Like,
It was like
course.
too obvious.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah,
of
I'm like,
course.
really? You're killing it.
Yeah.
You know?
We knew
I
that
was like,
was going to
something
play
is
into
going
it
to
later.
happen with this.
It's like they want to put in an Easter egg, but instead they just, like, boiled a whole, like, dozen of eggs and just shoved it in your face.
Okay.
That's how I feel
That's
about the
NBC.
tattoo.
Right.
Shout out to NBC. No, but I mean, he's so douchey.
That is
I
gross.
don't know. And then, so later on, right, after the heist, during the heist, he sees Annie's tattoo when she went to take the money and put it in her bag and all of that stuff. And then he goes to her apartment afterwards, and literally she gives him the choice to take the money. We will share this money with you if, you will stay hushed.
I don't think she said it like that.
She didn't, but she was like, what do you want, money? And he was like, no, I don't want money. But I am lonely.
And horny.
And horny.
Oh, yeah. I can't
Yeah.
believe
Like-
they said that.
What is wrong with him? Like,
What were
you can
reading?
take that money and take care of your horniness elsewhere. Why, Annie? Like, I just feel that part wasn't too realistic for me.
Okay.
Even if you're the douchiest of douches, you would take the money. I mean, it's 100. I mean, okay, it was
Well, he
500.
doesn't know how much, right?
He was the
Oh, yeah,
manager of
that's
the
right.
bank. How would he not know that there was that much money in the bank? The manager would have the combination.
But that's the thing. He is obviously dealing with these dudes. He probably has money on his own, too. He doesn't need... He can get laid and get more money. What
From
do you think?
her.
I don't think he's part of the scheme.
You don't think so?
Well, he had to open the safe, so which means he
He's
has
shady.
access to the money. So he knows something.
He knows something.
How much he knows, we don't know.
I guess we'll find out something.
Well,
they can
I
dig
mean,
in.
are we going to find out? All right, what's next?
Oh, can we talk about the appointment, the doctor's appointment?
Oh my god! I like that they did the split, like of
Yeah.
how it looks like, and like
When you're poor.
When you're
yeah,
poor.
when you're poor, getting medical attention.
From a public facility.
Yeah.
Community of money.
Community center.
$10,000 a treatment though
Per
that's
month.
a little pricey.
So let's talk about the first doctor's appointment,
Oh.
and you kind of just see the struggle for Ruby and her daughter, her whole family basically, and she's talking about the treatment for her daughter. Meanwhile, the doctor is kind of just preoccupied with telling his secretary to do this and that, and she's trying to say like, oh, this experimental thing, and he's just not listening until she just has that big freak out.
Yeah, she keeps forgetting her. He keeps forgetting her name too.
Yeah, what did he call her? I couldn't remember.
Well,
her
her
something else.
her name's Sarah.
Yeah.
But
He kept calling her something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
pretty bad.
annoying.
So, while I was watching this doctor's office scene, I was having just like this twitch. Because, first of all, okay, if I was in that office, my child is dealing with kidney disease, who needs to be hooked up to oxygen tanks and all these other things. Like, the doctor is having this other conversation dealing with files. Oh my gosh. Like, where she went, you can just see her anxiety escalate and escalate and escalate until she literally reprimands the doctor. And then that's when the doctor decides, oh, Ruby, she's actually a real live person that needs my medical attention. And, not necessarily to his fault. I'm sure he's inundated with patients who can't afford this, that, and the other. And maybe he's complacent. But, oh my gosh, that scene was so
stressful.
So beautifully written. I just feel like there's so many families going through that. But good for Ruby. Tell it to the man.
Did you feel like he genuinely did, like, feel bad once she kind of, like, freaked out at him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It would have been one thing if he was just kind of brushed it off and was like, there's nothing we can do for you.
Yeah.
But, he did seem sympathetic enough.
Definitely.
But I'm sure he deals with a lot of these families.
And that's what happens. I think, if you see it, you just become numb to the situation and you don't think that your patients have other options because you think they can't afford it. But,
But she's been doing her due diligence.
By robbing a grocery store.
Making sure she got that money.
I mean, and I like how they spelled out that it was going to be exactly $10,000 a month. And all of a sudden at the grocery store is exactly, well, give or take $30,000. Like, really? You're going to risk yourself for 1 month's worth of treatment?
Right.
Like,
I thought about that too.
I was like, I'm not robbing nobody's grocery store for $10,000 so I could spend it on 1 month. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
well, also later on, when they were in the news that, a grocery store got robbed, and the husband was like, oh, someone just donated in our GoFundMe page.
Yeah, we've had this up for so long now, and just now we have an anonymous donor.
And the husband, too. The husband's like, I would put that together.
Yeah. Shout out to GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Way to launder money.
Yeah.
So I think they went in knowing that they're not going to get caught with the $30,000. So they're like, we'll just do a one-time thing.
I feel like that's so. I have a list of things that I feel like they could have worked out in the pilot. Like $30,000. Like, I don't think anybody's getting up out of bed to do 1 month of treatment for $10,000 per person. Right? I mean, good for them for what they actually got, even though they weren't expecting $500,000. And that's how they get into the trouble with Rio. Is that his name? Rio?
Yes.
Gangster, G-Money.
Yeah, I mean, so let's go back to where Beth realizes her husband's cheating. Kind of just tears the house apart.
Oh,
and that's
so
where she
liberating.
comes across that. Yes, literally. That's where she comes across statements like the billings and all that stuff.
The mortgages.
The mortgage
3
stuff.
mortgages.
So that's why I'm like, how much debt are you guys in? The $30,000? You got to split it between the three of you? Is that really going to help?
In a way, they got lucky to get $500,000.
Who is, like, which lawyer is gonna defend you for $10,000? So, like, they didn't think this initial buy-in for the robbery, but then the $500,000, okay, that I guess made sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, what would you? Okay, if us three were those three, right? Number one, who would you be? And number two, what are you gonna do with $10,000? Pay off one credit card.
I mean,
What about the other ones? Traveling.
who would I
What's
be? I don't want to be none of them.
Oh, I'm Ruby all the way. I'm just like,
Who? You're Ruby?
I feel like I'm Ruby.
I feel like I'm Hendricks.
I feel like you're Hendrix.
I put Annie. 'Cause I would
Oh my
if I
God.
had to pick
She
one
would've
of them.
bought,
Like, I have the guns
torches.
already.
That one scene where she's like, okay.
That's what I love. It was like they both knew. Beth and Ruby both knew that she was the wild card and she was gonna be the one that couldn't sit on her money and let it go away slowly.
But that was one of my questions.
But everyone
Who would you be?
spent.
Like, I
Who
don't want to
didn't
be
spend?
any of them, but if I have to pick of who I would be in this situation, it would be Annie.
Who would you be and who would you rather be?
Oh, I'm totally Ruby. I feel like I would just be like, look, doctor, okay, at that doctor scene,
That is
shame
you.
on you all.
Yeah.
And then when I go to the other doctor's office,
Yeah.
when she's like touching me, I'm like, why? Why are you touching me? It's like, what is going on here? This is not a doctor's office I've been in. Like,
Is
that
cu-
scene was
is,
so
uh,
amazing.
Is cucumber water infused? Okay.
Cucumber
Do
water?
lemon? Can we do lemon?
That was
But
so
yeah,
cute.
I mean, I have it here. I'm all Annie. I would have totally gotten the Porsche the next day.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I was spending it in my head already. So
Hey, look, it
Girl,
worked
you probably
out.
you already spent it in real life. What are you talking about? Look at your new stove. 4 burners going at once. What is that life like? So when you know you
Yeah,
made
it feels
it.
good. Feels good to make it this far.
You can boil 4 kettles of water at the same time.
And infuse them.
Oh, and have the oven on.
Okay, who's next here? I like this per character situation we're doing. So we did Ruby, we did Annie.
All right, let's go to Dean.
Who's that?
See? Nobody knows anyone's character. This was also an issue with the show. It was hard to know who was who. Dean obviously is the only other character we haven't talked about.
Oh,
The
the husband,
husband. Yes.
of my husband?
Your husband.
Ruby's husband?
No, there's another husband.
No,
Ooh, no.
Isn't it
his
Dean?
husband.
Annie, or Beth's.
That's
I thought his name was
Bolin.
Dean. Dean Bolin. Was it not
Is it
Dean?
Dean?
I thought it was
I don't know.
Dean.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
am I tripping?
I think you are, girl.
I could have sworn it was Dean. Let's do some Googling here.
Dean Bolin.
Dean
It is
Bolin. Look
Dean.
at that
Oh
guy.
my god. We're like, who's that?
Who's Dean? This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Why didn't you just say Shaggy? I mean, we
Okay,
already
all right, we can
introduced
call
him
him
as
Shaggy.
Shaggy. Fine, Dean. Let's talk about
Dean.
Dean, aka
Dean.
Shaggy.
Yeah. So he's screwing his is she his assistant?
Whatever. I guess the receptionist,
Is
right?
she a receptionist? She
Yeah,
looked like she had her own office.
He doesn't.
It was a
need
receptionist.
An assistant at the car dealership. She probably just checks in people when they come in or whatever she does.
Just looks like it wasn't the proper place for reception desk. Are we talking about logistics here? I
mean,
guess.
architecturally, I see where you're going.
Our listeners are gonna be like, they dig in too much with how
'Cause,
things
I mean,
are supposed
And
to be, what the return policies, where the
Beth
desk are
was
supposed
able to
be.
talk to other people before the receptionist.
That's true. Maybe she does finance. You know,
Maybe.
I have a lot of experience in the car dealership world.
So let's, we find out, that Dean is cheating with this, we don't know who she is. We kind of get the whole, Easter egg of
Dozen of
right in the
eggs.
beginning where the commercial comes on and Dean hurry up and turns it off.
Yep.
Yeah, you
That
kind
was
of
so
got that.
obvious though, but I guess it's just for us,
And
not
NBC.
really to Hendricks.
Whole
Right.
dozen of eggs.
Yeah.
Beth,
Beth.
you were. What is her name? What is Secretariat's
LA
name?
The
Porn star.
problem with this show, we don't know anyone's names.
I think it's a problem with
the
all
only
pilots,
reason
though.
I remember Ruby is because of her name tag.
Girl, she had a name tag on and I still didn't know what her name
That's
was.
wonderful.
I don't know what her name is.
Wow.
All right, we're calling her
There's a lot of people.
Secretariat.
There's a lot of people going on in the show, and there's not a lot of name calling.
It's just Boland.
Boland assistant. So
Boland assistant?
Boland
All right, let's call
assistant.
her.
She's in this advertisement. You know,
With him,
with
yeah.
him in his pig suit,
Mm-hmm.
and she's kind of a little blonde, hottie thotty.
Not too
Hottie thotty.
She's supposed to be a hottie
But
thotty.
isn't it funny when Annie was like, who did she have to blow to get that job?
And literally,
That's what clicked.
Beth
Yeah.
was like,
light bulbs all over.
Ding dong. Lingerie store.
After Beth has her moment, she comes up with a plan. She storms her way into the dealership.
This is post robbery, and they already have the money too, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
I actually
So-
do have that scene,
Wonderful.
Perfect.
so let's watch this.
Hey, Mrs. Boland.
Where's the
Nice weather we're
receptionist?
having. Afternoon, Mrs. Boland.
I guess she is the finance.
I'm gonna have to call you back. Oh, Mrs. Boland, hi. What are you doing here? I'm here to clean up a mess, Amber.
Amber.
Yes, you. Sit. Don't worry. I mostly blame him. He should know better. You're obviously stupid. Oh, it's not a knock. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. You're a beautiful dummy. Doesn't make you a bad person. So, here's what's going to happen. You're going to quit your job and my husband, effective immediately. Trust me, they're both a dead end. This is $5 grand. Enough for a plane ticket and a little to get you started in LA. I do want to warn you about something, though. What's that? Those folks out there, they take one look at a person like you, the pretty, the dumb, the self-hating, and they figure, perfect for porn. Mrs. Boland? Why are you doing this? Because we both deserve more than a liar in a pig suit. Me more than you, but still. It's the nicest thing that anyone's ever said to me. Wow. Really? Wow.
Amber.
Like 5,000. That could have been just half of what they would have stolen.
Well, she would have probably
Exactly.
got 500 if they got 30,000. Okay, it's all relative.
Should have just
Listen.
gave her a Southwest voucher.
Joan,
Drink vouchers.
Joan, aka
Couple
Beth,
points.
aka Christina Hendricks, just threw that scene down.
I love her so much.
Oh my god,
I love her.
she's great. What'd you think, AJ?
Oh, it's amazing.
I mean that porn bit.
That's porn.
That's my favorite part.
It's kind of true
And-
though. Look at her.
And Amber was just like, oh my god, that is the nicest thing anyone's ever done. Like, what in the world?
What has she been dealing with?
And how long
Well,
would she survive?
Dean,
with
apparently.
5 G's in LA. Not too long.
No.
I mean, they probably have 10 people to an apartment. She'll probably be okay for
Yeah.
a year, you know? Do some blow. Some producers. She'd get somewhere in the porn industry.
So I wonder if she really left. I guess we'll find
Well,
out.
Yeah, see us.
So
in
that brings us to our next would you. So, would you the $5,000 to go to LA, or would you stay and do Pigman? I mean, Dean.
Oh, I would leave. I see money, I go.
Well, like you said, 5,000 may not get you a lot.
Maybe I won't move to LA. Maybe I'll just stick around and
but
splurge
keep
it around
the
town.
5,000. You know.
No, there are stipulations to the 5,000 though.
Or go to another state. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be
Yeah,
LA,
it doesn't have to
you
be
know?
LA.
I don't know
Well,
that I would
def-
move from
whatever my
5,000.
decision is, I'll definitely keep the money.
Yeah, easily.
You trading Pigman for $5,000
For sure.
But she
Gotcha.
gets she lights up every time she sees herself on a commercial, so she's totally ready for LA.
Ready? Yes.
I think.
What would you guys do?
No, I'd take the money
Money,
and
okay.
go if I was Amber, because that obviously is my character. Do you think we see Amber again?
I think
hope
we're gonna
not.
see Amber
You think
again.
more Amber?
Yeah.
You think so?
Because like I mean, if he has gotten their family that far into debt, not necessarily for her, but for all his dealings, as they say, maybe we don't see Amber specifically.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see more types of Amber. You know, maybe there are other Ambers out there in the world that are going to show up and create complications in their marriage. Or, like, I feel like Beth has just scratched the surface with Dean's mysteries.
I feel like they spent a lot of time introducing Amber as a character for them to just like
Throw her out.
Yeah, but I mean,
Game of Thrones, they killed the main character on the first episode.
NBC,
This is,
HBO.
let's weigh in
I'm just
similarities here.
I'm just saying. I mean,
So we'll
look
see.
at NBC. He's face deep
We'll
in,
see.
you know,
Look,
the
his
valley.
name tag says Dean.
God, we can't read.
Yeah. See, I didn't get that. It was
No.
Dean for a while.
I mean, we knew it was Boland. We did pretty
know
well,
Boland.
you know. And did you guys know they're in Detroit?
I did not know until this very second.
Until
I
just
was
now.
wondering actually. That's
Oh.
why
Like, how
I
far
Googled that.
are they from LA? What flight price can I get on
Well,
Expedia?
you know.
Good lord.
Detroit is a big hub, so
That's true. They're gonna get a great price. She saved most of that $5,000.
yeah.
Yeah. This is
Anyhow.
how you know we're
Oh my
past our 20s. Well, most of us
Getting there.
getting there.
So yeah, Dean is the last character.
All
I
right,
guess, that
so- Yeah,
about
let's reel it back in to the scenes. So the women have the money. They realize that it's $500,000 and not $30,000. And
I
they
love that scene where she just kept piling.
she just
all
kept
the
piling it
cash.
on, yeah.
That was your favorite scene, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
AJ?
look at that.
Like, that's what you dream about. Just, here's more. Here's more.
So obviously Ruby and Beth are freaking out. Annie is all about it. It's totally you, AJ. So the plan is, for at least Ruby and Beth, is sit on the money, get rid of it quietly, and they have to make sure that Annie does the same. And then let's fast forward and see what happens. Annie buys a Porsche immediately.
Yes, because
Like the
of
next
course.
day.
That's what
Greg's,
you do.
Well, Greg's wife has one,
Yeah.
so why not have his ex-wife have one too?
But what would you guys do? Let's say you haven't met Rio, the hoodlum guy, yet. Like, and you have $500,000 split between us. What would you do with your share? I would totally splurge it.
No, I'm afraid.
Mary Joy is gonna do a world tour for 6 months. Okay,
But
She's
a
gonna-
trip at a time because I got to get rid of it slowly, just so I
See,
don't get in
they
trouble.
have a lot of
Look.
they have a lot of family though. Like they can't just get up and leave. And actually, that's not enough money for you to like upgrade your whole life and go somewhere. You
I
could
feel like
if you go somewhere.
If MJ was Beth, right? Let's say she is the character that she relates the most to, Beth. What would you do with a cheating husband and 4 children? And how would you spend that money?
I would have done exactly what she would have done. You
Pay
guys
the bills
know.
and pay the hoe?
And get out. He needs to get out. I'll deal with my own shit. Leave me alone.
I would have left all the financial issues to him
Yes.
and grabbed the kids and got an apartment and left him
Yes.
to wipe his own
Oh yeah,
butt.
see, no, I wouldn't have taken care of all of his financial
Yeah.
issues, but I would have took the kids, kept the house. Oh no, I can't keep the house, huh?
Yeah, you have to pay it.
Oh, I get
'Cause
out.
You have to pay it
She,
back.
Yeah, I keep the kids and go.
but Beth technically decided to keep Dean because she was like, I'm gonna bring the finances up from now on.
Yeah,
I don't want you to do these finances
She
behind
wants-
my back. I want to be part of it.
she wants to be the strong woman.
So she's keeping him. You have
Yeah,
decided.
I don't think
to
No,
would
I
do
get
that.
her. I get rid
He's
of
got to
him.
go.
He's got to go.
Yeah, well,
Keep,
I mean,
keep the money.
she kicked him out, but the fact that she's paying for all this stuff.
But she still wanted to keep him because she said, hey, I from now on want to be part of the financial decisions.
Right.
So as Ruby, okay, if
Yeah,
I
what
were
would you
Ruby,
Yeah, what's Ruby doing
That's
here?
that's all you would do is just
oh man,
pay for treatment.
I have a boo thing that loves me. My
It's true.
child just needs some medical attention,
And she's
she
so
can
smart.
play soccer and burn books. You know, she's beautiful. I mean, I think she spent the money that she needed to spend for her child. If I was her, though, and she splurged a little on herself.
Did
I
she?
saw a little wardrobe update at the doctor's office. You didn't notice that?
No, I didn't notice
She had to keep it hush hush because her husband just made the police academy.
Oh, that's a
Like,
beautiful
we're gonna get into that.
foreshadowing, too.
Yeah,
You know?
we're gonna get
So,
into that.
like,
hello.
Yeah.
so I mean, there was not much Ruby can do. She did the minimum to keep her daughter healthy and to keep her family intact. I don't remember. So
And she can't leave town either, because then, you know.
Okay, so
Okay, well, I would
All
have
the
totally
girls-
done what Annie would have done.
yes,
Yeah.
we know.
I think you guys all know that, so. Probably more, actually.
More than a Porsche, which you sold for half the price, trying to get the money back.
go to Bora Bora in a second.
Bora
Oh,
Bora.
totally. Well, if anything, Annie has more of a reason to just, like, uproot her life and leave.
Yeah, just take the kid and
Yeah,
go.
take the kid and go.
But you know,
But-
for Sadie's sake, she wanted to stick around, so
Sure.
Sadie has both parents.
I'm sure that would get her into more trouble if the husband was deciding to.
Oh,
Sue
go to
for
court.
custody.
Yeah, then
She
she's
can't just
fleeing.
leave.
See,
It would
now
be
that
like
I think about
kidnapping.
it, all of them had something.
They
that
had something that was
can't-
keeping
yeah.
them there.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I
So-
think Beth
you did
could've
your
left.
best, girl.
So this is where we're at. They all have the money, they have the issues, and they've kind of already spent it. Beth comes home and is surprised by gang members.
Men in their homes.
Men in their homes.
Tattooed men.
Tattooed men. Which they alluded to earlier was like, why does the grocery store have this much money?
Yeah.
It's super shady.
Right.
So
But they
now,
didn't at one time think they were gonna get caught. You know, or
Right, they
hoping
kinda
to bring.
thought, like-
well, Ruby said
Oh.
she said maybe $30,000.
Yeah.
No one's gonna look for us, but
Yeah.
500, someone's looking for
oh yeah,
us.
oh yeah.
So
So he basically tells Beth he knows that her and her girls need to be there right now. He needs to talk to them. How do you guys think he found out? Boomer?
no,
I don't think Boomer is that connected to it.
but I don't think Boomer has the balls to set off that
Yeah.
domino effect. Like, he is going to hold on to his role as I don't know what's going on, and then he's going to use his leverage against Annie to get what she wants.
They better tell us how he found out, though, because that would be annoying. That would be another, writing thing that they kind of slipped up on.
I think it's Boomer.
Why?
I guess we'll find out.
Because he kind of holds it up against Annie that, like, I won't tell anyone. I'm not going to tell. I mean, he says it about the cops, but I think he's not going to tell anyone.
Well, that makes sense, too, because he doesn't want to keep some of the money. And he'd rather have sex. So that answers your question. Because why would he keep the money? He knows it belongs to this gang.
Yeah, it's a shady business.
Ah!
And yeah, I don't know.
Watch, we're thinking
There's-
so much
oh,
into
there's
this.
something
Okay.
thinking.
This is why I don't think he was involved. Because remember,
I think Annie set them off. Like, okay, who is this girl buying all this shit? No.
they were probably watching. Well,
How would you
I don't
know?
know. I don't think they've given us enough to speculate yet. I mean, so far from the characters that we have met, it would make sense that it's Boomer. Or at least he's the only option so far.
Sure.
What do you guys think about the security guard guy?
I don't know why they ran. I was like, this guy is not going to catch them.
Yeah.
No. He can't even catch himself.
I think
Yeah,
everyone that
or
works
cold.
there, or at least the higher ups, or like the security and the manager, they all know who they're dealing with. Of course, it's like the money's got to get into the grocery store somehow. And what if, because they know that the money is at the grocery store, they have the perimeter kind of camera, you know, the girls did come and park somewhere and then go into the store.
So
Maybe
they
couldn't.
kinda- okay.
They didn't have their masks on. They put it on.
But there's no cameras in the back. That's what they were saying.
That was the
Oh,
whole
is that what
point.
they said?
Yeah,
Oh,
she was
that's
like,
what she said.
yeah, she was like we've been robbed before, but they've always gotten caught because they were dumb enough to park in the front, and so we're gonna park in the back.
I still think it's Boomer.
Okay.
That's just my
the
guess.
makes more sense because we don't really have many characters to play around with here.
And I just feel like he was, I think I already said, like he was kind of holding it over her, like, I'm not going to say anything. He could have easily gotten taken. Maybe that's why he got so drunk or something, because they threatened him. And that's when he came over.
True. Or maybe we could be just looking way into this.
Yeah, just like Amber is not a secretary.
Maybe Amber told them. No, I'm just kidding.
But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
All three girls are talking to Rio, and he wants his money. Oof. Where am
And
I?
he's like, some of it for sure. I'll give you back some of it.
Some of it, and then they realize she bought a Porsche. She got an iPhone too, right?
2 iPhones, right?
Yeah.
One for her, one for Sadie.
So yeah, she spent about 100,000, I guess, in one day.
Yeah, man,
Totally awesome.
that's totally
Well,
you.
that's most of it. I mean, not to be a math nerd, but
That's most of her money.
yeah, that's. I mean, it's like 175,000 per person. She didn't even save it for the attorney. See, AJ,
I
you
know.
need to be more responsible. Okay.
So he's basically threatening them and saying he wants the money back quick and with interest. So the girls are.
Yep.
This is what basically sets up the show, because they're gonna have to figure out how to get that money back.
That's what reminded me of like Weeds, because then
That's how she got into it.
She got into it because of this.
Everything's set up. They now have a goal
Yeah.
or a task that they have to do. They all have personal situations that they gotta
Right, but then after
manage.
this, and then they got a taste of the good life. They want
Yeah.
some more.
Mhm.
You know?
And then Boomer's lurking on the side trying to get a piece,
Oh yeah.
you know?
So let's rewind and see like what happens. So Beth takes the kids, brings them over to Dean in the motel. But he does seem concerned and is like, what's going on? And she's like, just take care of my babies.
Yes.
yeah.
Annie sells the car. Doesn't get back everything for it, obviously. But it's so cute where when she's talking to Sadie and they do the whole yes, queen. And then let's go to Ruby, who is just completely paranoid now. Any little noise she hears, she's like, oh, who is it? And it was her husband.
Yep, that's totally you.
Yeah, like, who's that? Who's that? What's going on?
And then, like what we alluded to earlier, is now her husband applied for the police academy and he got accepted. So now it's like, here goes another
Yep.
wrench in there, and it's his wife just stole $500,000, and
Ruby's gonna do. You know, us women, we have to do what we gotta do to carry the family through.
Exactly.
We can't wait for the police academy.
Right.
How long was that? 6 months? Say they don't got that kind of time. You know, Ruby do what she gotta do. She gotta tell a doctor how she's gonna do
She
that.
needs a transplant soon.
I'm telling you, that kidney can't wait. That Fresenius dialysis cannot. Look, it's not yet an option. No, actually, the thing with Sadie is that they're trying not to do the transplant, so they're trying all these. Sarah, I'm sorry. Sarah.
Someone pulled a doctor here.
So Sarah, she is having kidney problems, disease, but there are medications that can treat her, which is costly. And the doctor ultimately doesn't want Sarah to get a transplant yet because they're not at that point. And this new drug is so promising.
Right.
Yeah.
So the girls are back together and they count the money that they have and they are $60,000 short.
Which is Annie's fault.
Oh, Annie. This is all your fault, AJ.
Yeah.
All of it. This causes Ruby and Annie to fight about it. You know, they're butting heads. Annie is easily like, let's just steal it from somewhere else. It's just an ongoing...
That would be my solution.
What a good solution.
I know.
Oh, we don't have the money.
Better solution?
Just go to the other account.
And meanwhile...
Where's
Beth...
the next grocery store?
Yeah, outside Detroit.
Yeah, outside Detroit.
Maybe they can go hit up Chicago. It's not too far, right? And Beth is kind of over it and just doesn't want to deal with the two of them fighting. It's like me, guys. I'm just over it. And so toward the end of the episode, Beth goes to take a shower. Ruby's gone. And Annie hears a knock at the door. And it is a Boomer.
Wonderful.
I feel like that scene got dark way too fast.
This was what I was talking about. Like, okay, NBC. Yeah.
Well, they wanted to end it on a note where you're like, oh my God, what happened next?
No, it's not even that. It's more like, ugh, like I feel weird watching it.
Yeah.
Like this rape scene was a little unnecessary.
But had it been
right?
Showtime or whatever, I would have been like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Well, I mean, but you know what? I feel like this could have waited another episode. Like, we already see him being sexually aggressive towards her, and, you know, her daughter walked in, so that stopped that scene. Like, I feel like it didn't need to be in the pilot. Something else could have happened to end that pilot and still make it good, because there's so much good stuff already. But like you said, that twist or that turn that it made really was like, wow.
But I think...
I didn't expect that at all.
Me either. It did. It took a real big turn. So actually, I do have the clip where Beth kind of hears... rumbling out there,
while
and
she's in the shower.
Yeah, and she is not having it.
She hit me? You're hurting me!
That's how you like it, right, tough girl? Come on, you're gonna rob a store, right?
Get off of her!
Oh, hey, easy. All right, no need to get upset. All right, no need to get upset.
Oh, do I look upset? Why would I be upset?
Because every man in the world thinks he can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants.
Okay, hey, we were just having a little bit of fun, all right?
Oh, is that what that was? Because you see, when a lady screams, stop, it is usually because she is not having the time of her life. But what do I know? Now you're gonna pull up your pants and you are gonna get the hell out of here. Get out!
Is that a toy gun?
So they brought us to the dark side, and then all of a sudden it lightens up the mood with the toy gun.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We're back. We're back on NBC.
Oh my God, we're back on NBC. So yeah, it does end up being a toy gun.
So my question is, did none of their neighbors heard all this commotion?
Right.
Because after this, he was thrown all over the place.
There was
definitely a lot of loud
door
noises.
was open.
So yeah, what happens after this is he, finds out that it's a toy gun, and then he feels threatened by this and is like, you know what? I'm gonna go tell. he's gonna go tattle, and then I'm telling, and then Annie's freaking out like, oh no, Boomer, you just want some money, and then Beth has had it, and she doesn't need a toy gun, takes a bottle of alcohol and hits him over the head, and that angers him even more. He comes in and falls through the table.
I thought he was dead already. I was like,
done. Yeah, exactly. We don't know if he's dead or not, though, right?
No, we don't.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's another way for them. I mean, they obviously don't want to go to the cops. So do you think you guys think it wasn't necessary to have this scene in there?
Not really.
And not in the pilot?
Yeah, I think it's just, I'm not sure why. And it's all the way in the end, too. I would vote for no on this scene.
So I understand why it's there. I just feel like the way it was presented was just such a turn from everything else. So I think their intention was to build this extra layer of,
seriousness.
Yeah,
we have more problems.
Yeah.
We have the money that we got to get back to the gang, and now we
probably
also
killed this
probably
man.
just killed someone.
Yeah. And so I think that's the feeling. Like you watch the end of this episode, this pilot episode, and you're like, oh my God. First it was all comedic, giggles and laughs, and it's, this amazing show. And now it's a murder mystery too. Like, well, it's not really a mystery. It's just a murder.
Yeah. Is it a dark comedy? Is it a light comedy?
Yeah,
I can't.
It's just a lot of lanes. A lot of lanes to be in there at the same time. So I would agree that maybe this could have been kept for a future episode because it's already a lot going on. We were already hooked. What do you think, MJ?
I was okay with it. I thought it just was another way for them to scare them to, like, we can't deal with this murder, or we owe money to a gang, like, we're really deep into it now, like, we're gonna have to do what we need to do to get out of this.
This all started with Pantygate. Pantygate 2018. And I mean, do you think this post to Pantygate Beth is the same Beth that was pre-Pantygate?
No.
She's just been on it, whether it's the heist or defending her sister or any of these other numerous things that she's had to deal with this episode. She is now this, like, march for change, if you will. She's just her one woman, me against the world. I'm going to protect everyone in my life.
I think that character definitely grew in, like, one episode.
And I think that you raise a good point. I think that is also why this scene is pivotal to be in the pilot, because it helps show more of her change. Because if she is the lead of this show, she went from being a housewife that's just kind of passive, whatever. I don't really have sex with my husband. He's cheating on me, whatever. Right. Now she's stolen money. Didn't really want to do anything on that.
One decision
has
changed the future of everything.
Right. Now she has to deal with a gang. Now she threatened someone with a toy gun, told him her issue with men, takes it into her own hands, literally, and hits this guy over the head. Like, she wouldn't have done that a few days ago.
Pre-Pantygate.
Pre-Pantygate,
Mm-hmm. And then, the other thing is, Annie, throughout the whole show, she's the tough girl. She's the wisecracking, just on it. Like, you can tell she's been through things and she's perfectly good with taking care of herself. And all of a sudden she's in this situation with Boomer, and now she's the little sister. She's the one cowering in a corner, shivering and upset that she almost got raped.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because there's that infamous line that, what do we do now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She said that. I was like, holy crap. Like, ever since Reese Witherspoon pointed it out at some award show, that all the women that we see in TV, movies, they always have a line that says, "What do we do now?" And it's always the guy trying to solve it.
Yeah.
So they made it they did it here where she said, "What do we do now?" But it's her sister
Yeah.
that
That's
was like,
gonna
"Hey,
figure
we
it
got
out.
this."
Yeah.
You know.
But it's funny though, also that you say that, because throughout the entire episode, Annie already knew what she wanted to do from the get-go. Now she's the one that doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Huh.
I feel like it was developing, her character's developing the other way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, people that present themselves as very strong, usually those are the people that have had to build those walls because they don't want to let people in. They can only be vulnerable in those situations that they're not expecting to be in. So, you know, whether it's with her ex-husband or her child's, you know, gender identity or whatever money issues, she's so callous with those situations. I'm gonna, you know, yeah, I'm gonna rob a bank. Yeah, I'm gonna go buy a Porsche. Yeah, I'm gonna go do whatever I need to do. But this here, like, that wasn't on her scope. So now we see a glimpse of her insecurity, her, maybe the true her, you know, the little sister that does need someone. Because she never really acted like she needed
Until, you know,
someone to protect her.
Well,
Right.
yeah.
Until
Or
a possible
murder.
Possible murder.
Well, I mean, look how quick she was. She was literally about to get raped, and then the minute he said he was going to go and tell on them, she was like, oh, what do you need? What do you need? Like, she cowered in a second.
Yeah. Like, every time. It's like, those are the people that start with that really high wall, but you know deep down there, that sensitive person that needs it. And it's usually the sensitive ones, the one that are, they're more quiet, they're more controlled, that you know they have their shit figured out. Just don't push that button or else you're getting a bottle to your head and possibly your imminent death.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
What?
Were we referring to someone?
I don't know. I felt like you guys were talking about me.
Oh. Well, I mean, you know, that's how you feel.
I was just looking at my notes.
Feelings.
But
A lot
that's
of
what you
feelings.
think.
Feelings.
I have a lot of sensitive feelings.
So I
have a bottle already in hand.
That's why I gave you guys a plastic water.
Oh, that's why.
Our studio water.
Our studio water.
Studio water. So overall, character development. You know, the only person I feel like we're a little shortchanged was Ruby.
Yeah.
She's a little underdeveloped. Maybe, you know, in future episodes she's getting a little more depth and story behind her situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall.
But there's seeds there for that, especially when we learn more about her husband.
You know, NBC, our fingers are crossed.
Yeah. So that's the episode.
Yeah. So are we gonna do an overall rating?
Yeah. So what do you guys think? We'll let our guests go first.
All right,
How do you grade this?
J-Boogie at the mic. So overall rating, my eyes were glued to the show. The second I hit play to the second Boomer went down with his head bleeding on the rug, like, this show just sucked me in. I don't know if it's because of the previous Mad Men ties or just how well women are presented in these situations, but it was just amazing. Now, storyline and writing, you know, there are some holes. I feel like, you know, the thing with Ruby, she definitely needs more development. I feel like some of the things, like the $30,000 they were going to share between them with Robin and Bank, you know, some of those, they're small issues, but if you want someone to buy into that storyline and have it be the main storyline, it could just be beefed up a little bit. But the situations are great. I mean, I overall give the show an A, maybe an
A.
The show is an A, but the storyline maybe a B minus.
No, you have to rate the whole thing in general.
Okay, so overall, let's say A minus.
Okay.
And would you continue watching it?
Oh, yes.
Based off this pilot.
Definitely.
Okay.
How many seasons do you think it will have?
Oh.
I like these questions.
How many seasons? Now, I feel like this main storyline of, Boomer and all that, maybe 3 or 4 episodes in, but then I feel like it's going to develop into this whole other thing. So overall, I'm going to give it 4 seasons.
4 seasons. Wow.
I think that's being a little on the lenient side. I feel like it's going to go longer than 4 seasons, actually. But let's say 4.
AJ?
I gave it a B. I don't see it going beyond 2 seasons.
It's fair.
I feel like it, like I mentioned earlier, like I'm not sure where they're going with, if it's a dark comedy, light comedy. I feel like it's watered down at some points and some of the storylines are not adding up. But, I mean, all in all, I feel like they did a great job casting. Like a lot of familiar faces, so I'm loving that. That's one of my things, too, that sucks me in. It's someone that I've seen in past shows. So I'm like, okay, I like this already because of that one person, or in this case, a few people. So I give it a B.
Nice.
MJ?
B minus.
A B minus.
Still a good
I thought I was
rating.
bad for doing
Still
a B.
a good rating.
Yeah.
It's mostly the whole. There's something I can't really put my finger on. Something that's missing. I think also there are some parts of this that are a little cliche. The husband's screwing the woman that he works with. I don't know. I think I give it the B because I love everyone in it, and that's what's gonna keep me watching. So obviously I will watch more. The minus is just, the story could have been, the story's fine. It's just, pilots are hard.
It is.
It's hard to introduce everyone, to keep the viewer engaged enough, and to kind of get as much development in as you can. Like Josh said, Ruby was the only one that kind of got shortchanged, but I feel like we'll get more of that. And I think for how many seasons there'll be, I'll say 3.
Okay.
And the way that I kind of feel this show will be going is it could easily be a procedural. Like the next episode, obviously it's going to keep with the story, but I feel like every episode might tie into a way that they steal money. It's going to be a different thing. I don't know if that's how it'll go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I gave it 2 seasons. Like, they're eventually gonna get caught.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not sure where they're gonna go.
It's either.
I thought about that with Weeds too. But hey, it lasted how many seasons?
But I mean, like the formula. I don't know how the formula is. Based off of just the pilot, it could easily be. Here's a thing that we need to do to get money. We're gonna rob this house. We're gonna rob this grocery store. Episode 3, but. There are so many possibilities of, are they going to get caught? Are they going to end up paying it off? Are there going to be more debt? So, I mean, it could
also
give it a
like
shot.
Their personal lives.
Yes.
What's going to happen with the cheating husband? What's going to happen with the medical
the medical
bills?
stuff.
So Sadie's,
I'll definitely
gender
keep watching
custody.
Yeah, custody, gender
Yeah.
identity, all those issues can be explored. So the possibilities are there.
Yeah.
It just depends on how well the writers are willing to explore
Exactly. And if people still watch network television, because it's not binge culture.
So I watched it on Hulu.
Okay.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Hulu too.
No.
Do they get ratings for that?
No advertisements.
I believe so.
Do they?
Yeah.
I gotta look into that. I've always wondered.
Did you watch on Hulu?
Yes, no, actually I didn't. I watched on a DVR.
Advertisement? Oh, I was gonna say.
And if you fast forward through the commercials on the DVR, they don't get that rating.
Really?
I think. I'm like 90%
I watched
sure.
it without commercials.
I did too. I paid an extra $2.
Sure did. Buy me some time back.
Thanks, Annie. So I think we're all in agreement that we will continue to watch it.
Definitely. I mean, I'm hooked into watching more.
I don't know I can say if I'm hooked, but I can say that I'm gonna watch it.
Listen, we're here for Joan.
We are here for Joan. That's the only.
We're hooked.
That's the only hook.
No. We're hooked. Yes, Joan is a good. If Joan was here and the storyline was like, we're not to bring up another show, but Legion, okay? We started for an actor. We did not stay.
It's true.
So there is some substance here that is interesting, and we're not just here for Joan.
Well, it's too early to say.
So
you guys
far,
might stop watching episode 4.
I want it out on episode 1 of Legion.
Wow, really?
I stuck all the way to episode 5, and I was like, forget it, can't do it.
Maybe we should do Legion and have you on again.
Yeah, let's do it.
I've never seen an episode of Legion.
Don't. Pay us $2 and buy your time.
Alright, so
all right.
A, B, minus. There we go.
So that's that. Thank you, Ja, for joining us for our first episode.
For having me. I really enjoyed it.
I'm sure we'll have you again for the next whatever pilot we do. So yeah, that's Good Girls, and we will see you for the next pilot.
Till next time.
See ya.